motion to resume public session? Is there a motion to resume public session? Katie and Rob? All in favor? Okay. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, we'll start with our GC Pride Awards.
All right, good evening, Board of Education members. Good evening, Superintendent Daly. So I'm happy to be here tonight to present the GC Pride Award to my friend Glenn McHenrick. I have had the pleasure of working with Glenn since he was a preschooler, and he is now getting ready to start fourth grade at Paul Road. I've also had the pleasure of working with his grandfather, Mr. McHenrick. Over the years, I have watched Glenn go from this little preschooler who was very busy to this wonderful young man who really enjoys learning. Over the summer, I was able to see him every day. What a great friend he's become, how engaged he is in his learning, and what a great sense of humor he has. As you can see, Glenn just came from karate, and this year, starting karate, he's made even more progress in school and at home. So, I am pleased to award Glenn McHenrick with our GC Pride Award. Thank you.
I just wanted to lower it a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't have. Good evening, Board of Education members, Superintendent Daly. I would like to present this GC Pride Award to my friend Victory Cherry, who is a senior this year. Victory participated in our first summer enrichment program, and he did a great job. He was always willing to participate, had a positive attitude, and was helpful with younger students. Victory is a student who continues to overcome adversity while trying his best. So I just want to congratulate Victory on a job well done. Thank you.
I have to use my reading glasses. I probably didn't have them back in the day, did I? All right. Good evening, Board of Education, Superintendent Daly. I am going to read a little bit here just so that I don't well up along the way. I know many of you recognize Joe Abali as our head custodian at Neil Armstrong. Mrs. Scott is here with me tonight because this GC Pride Award for Joe is twofold. In a moment, Mrs. Scott will have an opportunity to highlight Joe's leading example in the areas of professionalism, respect, innovation, dedication, and excellence. What I would like to do is take us back to the year 2005 for just a few seconds, when this young man graduated from Gates Chi High School. And there he is, already wearing his proud Spartan blue. As a student, Joe was unequivocally the epitome of the Spartan way, before it was even officially known as such. Joe has always taken great pride in being a Spartan, and I was fortunate to have him as a student in my class for 2 years. Respect. Joe always treated his peers and adults with a deep sense of genuine respect that just seemed to come naturally to him. It's who he is. Responsibility. Well, Joe always did his homework. Seriously. His academic performance was important to him, and he always was willing to put in extra effort and time to be successful and sought out feedback to improve his work. Compassion. It was always very important to Joe that everyone be treated kindly and with respect. He was never afraid to point out to someone that they might be hurting another person's feelings. Joe steps up. Hard work. Joe's work ethic is really second to none. Way back in 2005, he taught me the importance of alternative pathways to graduation, the value of vocational opportunities to ensure career readiness. Joe set goals for himself back as a high school graduate entering the workforce. As they say, sometimes the best place to be is right back where you started from. I'm very proud of you, Joe.
Thank you.
Mrs. Scott.
I am fortunate to be the principal at Neil Armstrong Elementary School. Joe started about a month before I started, and ever since, the two of us have worked together to make sure that Armstrong is spotless, shining, welcoming to all of our students. Joe takes exceptionally great pride in Armstrong because his great uncle, Dominic Abale, was actually the very first principal of the school. It only makes sense that he is our head custodian. And every single day when teachers have been in over the summer, and today when we kicked off opening day with staff, they are amazed at the work that Joe and his crew have done in the building. One teacher said to me today, in 20 years that I have been in this building, it has never been this ready to open up for school kids. And that's thanks to Joe, his leadership with his team, and him modeling the Spartan way. He truly is a success story of Gates Tri-Li.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All of our Gates Charlie Pride winners, please go out in the hallway with Betchesino. Thank you. Okay, today we have the very unique honor of awarding diplomas for those students who have worked extra hard to finish up the requirements in August.
So as they're coming up, I would like to just say a few things. First, to our Board of Education, thank you for supporting the programming we have, and also thank you for supporting our ability to regain credits, give kids opportunities. These two are a testament to that opportunity that they had in front of them. And for you guys, I hope two things. One, that you understand that this diploma isn't just a piece of paper. It represents that there's a lot of different pathways to your final destination. And you guys have proven that, by putting your mind to it, your heart to it, you can get anywhere. And I hope that lesson, goes far along in your lives. And then the second thing is that this does represent opportunity. All right? I want doors to be open. I want you to have choices in your life. I want you to be happy and successful, or whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like for you. But understand that finishing this and sticking it out till the end and being here tonight is a great testament to who you are. And I just want to say thank you and I respect that. Superintendent Daly, as principal of the Gates Tri-Li High School, I'm honored to present the class of 2022. These two young people have completed all requirements for graduation established by the Board of Regents of the University of New York and by the Gates Tri-Li Central School District.
Board Vice President Frank Moscato, I have received the recommendation of Principal Hamill that these young people should receive their high school diplomas. I recommend to you that the Board of Education confer these diplomas.
As Vice President of the Board of Education of Gates Charlie School District, I direct the diplomas to be conferred.
Jeremy Rivera, come on up. Robin Ryan. Again, thank you.
If both graduates could please stand, we're gonna make it official. So members of the class of 2022, please rise. Please act like you're moving your tassel from the right to the left. I now pronounce you graduates of Gage Chi-Li High School. Congratulations.
And I think we're gonna get some photos out here so we can, all families and everyone with the graduates, we can head out this way, okay? Unless you wanna stay for the rest of the meeting. You're buying tonight's. Okay, let's probably go ahead and head right down that way.
Okay. Agenda changes.
Yes, we have changed personnel into action items E and F.
Excuse me, D, E, and F.
Yep.
Resolve the Board of Education, having heard the transportation appeal from student A, and following our due deliberation, thereby deny the appeal request. That'll be the first one. Second one, it becomes student B. The third one will be student C. Okay. Anybody questions on the motions? Okay. That will be part of our, excuse me, action item number 7. Any other changes? Board Vice President comments. I think would probably be considered by some an understatement to say it's been a pretty difficult 2.5 years for our students, our parents, our staff, maybe the board, and for the community in large. It's hard for me to remember what the 18-19 school year was like. That may have been the last year where we were, quote, normal. You know, so our normal has been altered probably forever between the pandemic, economic problems, political problems, social issues. But as I look to 2023, I really, really have a positive feeling it's going to be a return to a, quote, normal type of environment. I think our kids are resilient. I think for the most part, our parents have been very, very supportive, not only of us, the district, but also their children. So I look forward to the start of another school year. And again, I congratulate the staff on getting things off, you know, already this week. You know, and like I say, thank you. It's been a long road, it seems like forever. Points of interest? Anybody have anything else, Gary?
I had the pleasure of attending the Gary Adler volleyball tournament for both boys and girls teams, JV varsity, last night. It was so nice to see all those students in the gym and parents up on the track watching. I saw teams from West Irondequoit, Webster, Brockport, Brighton, of course, Gage Chi-Li, Spencerport. It was just a great turnout, and everybody seemed to be really enjoying the time there and the space.
Anybody else? Points of interest? Oh, Ms. Litt?
Littlewood?
Littleton?
Hi. I would just like to say thank you to all the volunteers that organized the middle school orientation, the student volunteers and the staff. It was a wonderful experience with my son yesterday, and the helpers were there to ease a lot of the student nerves, so I appreciate having the students helping the students.
Duncan?
I was able to join the opening day ceremonies this morning, and it was awesome. I felt like maybe I want to go back and teach, but no, thank you. I just like the atmosphere and how positive it was, and it was just wonderful. They're going to start off this year and they've got their sights set for doing great things. So it was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. And reported meetings. Do we have any meetings? Nope. Very good. Any visitor requests, comments? No? Okay, I guess we don't need to read it then. Curriculum instruction report. Mr. Olin.
Good evening, Vice President Moscato, Superintendent Daly, and members of the Board of Education. Thank you for this opportunity to provide you with the Office of Instruction update this evening. So you can see, I'm joined with a team. We'll talk through some new faces that we have on the team and some exciting work that we have planned this year with the Office of Instruction, as well as some accomplishments last year throughout the summer and moving forward into next year. And so meet our team. Katie Kuhn as our Director of Secondary Education. Sarah Mosino, our Director of Elementary Education, joined us in March. Terry Marsh, Coordinator of Student and Staff Success, been here all of 7 days. And in the image on the board or on the screen is Lindsay DiMartino, who is our assistant and really supports the entire team and the backbone of our Office of Instruction. We do have a vacancy, so if you know of anyone, please encourage them to apply as another team member to support the work that we do in the Office of Instruction. And so with that, our team is the hub for teachers, teacher leaders, building administrators, district administrators, in ways that we provide intentional supports throughout structured systems to help all of those stakeholders in the district. Our team communicates through monthly newsletters, as well as takes a thoughtful approach about the ways that we communicate information and work with all of our folks. We provide staff with knowledge and resources, through professional learning and coaching. We also support the consistent implementation of curriculum and assessment at the elementary and secondary level to ensure consistency vertically as well as horizontally, and through departments as well as grade levels. We work collaboratively to support our student learning with all stakeholders and above all, appreciate, celebrate, and recognize the hard work that is teaching and learning. Some of the other things that we oversee and are responsible for in many aspects include instructional programs, curriculum instruction and assessments throughout the district, our instructional coaching, which we'll talk a little bit more about, but supporting our coaches and guiding them in the work that they're doing, as well as teacher leadership. We have over 60 teacher leaders throughout the district working with their colleagues to help support student learning, the professional learning that's happening throughout the district, as well as the community engagement in supporting buildings with and engaging those families throughout each of our 6 buildings. Multi-tiered system of support where we take a look at maximizing the systems that are in place to support our students, as well as summer program, which you heard a little bit about with our Pride Awards, but maintaining that engagement as well as enrichment and fostering excitement for our learners throughout the summer. So the remaining members of our team, who are behind me, are our coaches. And our coaches have joined the Office of Instruction this year, and we look forward to them working collaboratively with our team, but also, more importantly, with our teachers and our administrators throughout the district. And they are Jen Christensen, our K-5 literacy coach, as well as Matt Harvey, our district library media coach, Mike Munsky, our innovation coach, and Wendy Taylor, our innovation coach. So I'm going to turn it over to them to talk a little bit more about what coaching looks like in Gates China.
All right, good evening. So as a team this summer, we worked with West Ed, and what we're going to be working on this school year is implementing a coaching cycle system within our district. And we're going to do this to help improve our effectiveness when working with our colleagues. So what is coaching and what does it look like in Gates Chili? We are partnering with our colleagues to really help to maximize our student success and what we are able to provide for our students. So it's really going to be our goal to work together to foster that professional growth with our colleagues, as well as to improve student learning. So we are going to be working throughout this year to share what the coaching cycle is with our colleagues at each of the buildings, and really working together to define what that looks like in Gates Chi-Li.
So within the Office of Instruction, whether it's the coaches or the four of us, everything we do is really anchored in our rigor framework. And you have heard us talk about this before. We continue to work with this rigor framework as we focus on our curriculum assessment and instruction, professional development. Everything we do is really defined and encompassed within this. So it is divided into the 5 components that really give our instructional focus so that we can focus on personal learning for our students. It's culturally responsive. It is inquiry-based. It is develops higher order thinking for students, gives them authentic learning opportunities, and really integrates whatever content they're learning with the standards as well as the skills that we're trying to promote. So we are going to continue to use that framework to define everything that we do. And we're going to talk about a little bit about how we did that this year, as well as how we're going to continue to do that.
Good evening. So this year, our team led faculty meetings in each of the buildings in order to develop a consistent understanding of our rigor framework. Each of the meetings focus on one component of rigor, and so took the opportunity to model what rigorous instruction should look like, also deepening everyone's understanding so that when we talk about rigor while we're working with curriculum and assessment and instruction, that everyone has a common and consistent definition of what we mean when we say rigor here in Gates Chi-Li. As we look to move forward into this coming school year, we will continue working with each building and in collaboration with the building administrators and teacher leaders at each building to now work to apply what rigorous instruction and practices look like, and really differentiating to meet the needs of the buildings along with continuing that common definition of rigor. All right.
So, I know, we're like back and forth. So as we plan for summer curriculum with our teacher leaders, really the focus at all levels is on that definition of rigor. So we look to them to propose summer curriculum projects that are going to talk about the expectations for rigorous curriculum instruction, developing the curriculum in a way that will lead to support that instruction, and then also organizing our units in a way that can be really so that they're implemented equitably and consistently while leaving teachers that, their personal touch on their instruction, but also really aligned and consistent no matter which teacher a student has.
So this school year, or this summer, we had more than 150 teachers from 20 departments, or over 20 departments, work on more than 60 projects. So it was quite the undertaking. And in order to do that, we have everyone work in the high school library. That setting really allows for a collaborative workspace and is a natural place for vertical alignment. So as departments are working, they can go over to see another department and talk about the different things that they are working on. And it's just a great way to support that collaborative environment and workplace. In addition to that, there are teacher leaders and Katie and myself and other admin that are attending those curriculum days, and we're there to also provide support and to foster that collaboration as we look to build that vertical alignment with our rigorous assessment, curriculum, and instruction. And also our teacher leaders, we have over 60 teacher leadership opportunities throughout the district. At the elementary level, they are content leaders for each of the core areas at each of the buildings. We also have an art department elementary leader, music, library, health, and counseling. Secondary teacher leaders.
Right. So teacher leadership at the secondary level covers every department. They have a leader at the middle school level, at the high school level, and then for our 4 major core areas, ELA, math, social studies, and science, we have a 6-12 curriculum leader. So they really work with both the middle school and high school programs to keep that vertical alignment. So these teachers that we're talking about, these teacher leaders, really lead that curriculum work all summer.
So highlights at the elementary level this summer, our K-5 art department really established some common projects that they would have across the 4 buildings, similar to the Belonging Project, if you're familiar with that from last year, where all 4 buildings worked on a common theme project that embedded the skills as artists. They're really trying to move from skill-based units into more thematic units that embed those skills as our students really develop themselves as artists. In counseling, they worked to update their standards in their units to align with the new American School Counseling Association standards. In ELA, grades 3 through 5 focused on revisions to their writing and assessments. This is a part that we continue to work on, as writing and reading are integral and reciprocal processes that help really support one another. You'll notice K2 is not there this summer. That's because we've really been focusing on professional development in kindergarten through 2nd grade and really building a consistent understanding of literacy development. And then as we move through this year, we will use that newfound knowledge and build upon it to then leverage for future work this coming summer. Kindergarten through 5th grade, in math, they reviewed their current assessments, made sure they were still aligned to standards, and also worked nicely with our math resource, Everyday Math, and with the pacing of that.
Some of the highlights at the secondary level, of course, we had several different departments working, but middle school and high school social studies departments really worked. You've heard us talk a little bit about the anti-racist curriculum project that's been happening throughout the county, as well as the Monroe County Race, Class, and Inequities project, where every district was really represented to start to look at Rochester history and look at some historical documents and how we can embed that into our students' content knowledge in the social studies classes. So both middle school and high school departments looked at those documents, got professional development in the spring, and then worked this summer to embed them into their existing units. So they're really excited about starting to teach those this year. Our world language teachers from middle school and high school collaborated vertically because their standards are being revised, and the way that the state is coming out with those standards changes. It's really going from 7th grade up. So they came together to start to look at the middle school curriculums first, and then they're going to continue to work on that as those standards are rolled out. And then throughout every department, they're really looking to develop more performance tasks so that their instruction can be really rigorous and authentic. So we have a common expectation around performance tasks. Many departments are starting to do that to get some of those equitable, rigorous experiences to their kids.
Good evening. I'm proud to share with you that over 100 courses were facilitated through last year and this summer, some from Gates Chi staff and some with partnership in many areas, but a few to highlight: NYU Metropolitan Center for Research on Equity and Transformation of Schools, Gandhi Institute for Nonviolence, Villa of Hope, Monroe 2 Orleans BOCES, Pathstone, just to name a few. We also continued with the CRSE cohorts. Gates Chi did facilitate, started last year. We also worked with BOCES, NYU, and Greece this summer. Just last week, we welcomed 106 new instructional and non-instructional staff in our first day of new staff training, and it was a big group, and it was amazing to see everyone in one place. We supported then on day 2 and 3 with 30 new instructional staff, and we took them through utilizing technology in their classrooms. Instructional coaches gave them a really great opportunity to learn how to find things first in their technology and then how to use those in the classrooms, curriculum development, and ways to access professional learning opportunities with our instructional team. This year I'm excited to continue the monthly Spartan Way trainings with our new staff, and we'll be visiting classrooms both with our new staff as well as our teachers in the years 2 through 4 on their journey to becoming tenured. I'll also be working to support the 22-23 calendar for professional learning, which was developed in the support of our priority areas, specifically letters, CRSE, and the learning labs. And we'll be collaborating with our building and district leaders to ensure our staff are supported in their learning and growth so that they can support our students to thrive.
This summer, we were fortunate to run a summer program at the elementary level. It was a 3-week program. It was focused on ELA. We also focused on math for the first time in a long time during this summer program. There was an opportunity for us to work with students who typically are at risk in these areas, and we wanted to make sure they had an opportunity to not have that summer slide. So the real focus was just having some intentional instruction in these two areas while having a lot of fun, which I'm sure if you followed them on social media, you saw a lot of that happening. So it also built on that SEL as well. We had approximately 130 students from across the districts. Kindergarten through third grade, we had roughly about 100. Grades 4 through 5, they went through the BOCES regional summer program that we partnered with, and there were about 30 students that participated.
And at the secondary level, we continue. This was our second year providing an enrichment type opportunities at the secondary level. So these were students who really got the opportunity to focus on a variety of things. We had a STEM program that 3 of our teachers focused on, really just giving the kids the chance to be innovative and think creatively and outside of the box. We had a humanities program for the first time, so they focused on really integrating art and writing and literature. To really focus on those kids' writing. So it was academic support, but also a lot of enrichment. We did have a pre-algebra class for some of those kids that need that boost before going to high school and taking algebra. We've had that for several years. Our ENL program continued at the secondary level. We did have that at the elementary level as well. At both levels, the ENL program, we did extend that for 4 weeks, whereas the other programs were 3 weeks. We gave those kids an extra week really to focus on their language as you know, sometimes when they're home, they're not really using the academic English at all. So 4 weeks really benefited those kids. And then we had our 15-to-1 program. So for our students with disabilities that are in those self-contained programs, some of their teachers worked with them over the program for a few weeks as well. All of our secondary kids that needed it had the opportunity to attend regional summer school and also the middle school programs through BOCES as well.
So moving forward, our team is actively involved in our equity efforts and our strategic plan for equity through our leadership teams as well as district team and focus areas of teaching and learning and MTSS. We also continue to look forward to opportunities which were mentioned like learning labs and bringing back those opportunities that are teacher-centered for the continued growth throughout the year, as well as enhancing and leveraging our rigor framework, which we heard a little bit about this evening, and supporting the implementation of our curriculum and instructional programs through that lens of the district goals as well as our department priorities. And last but not least, continue to leverage and maximize our data and systems in order to inform our work moving forward. And before I click to the next slide, which is questions, I want to thank the group behind me. They are outstanding individuals, outstanding leaders, and outstanding coaches. And our district is fortunate to have each and every one of them, as well as our students for ultimately the impact that they'll help to make throughout the district. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody have questions? Karen?
Can you describe a little bit about Letters program? I saw that a lot about it on Twitter, and I saw some comments that it was a little bit of getting the science behind reading on top of.
So,
it sounded exciting.
And it is, and I'll let them articulate a little bit more about the program, but Jen is certified to be a trainer, and we'll be turnkeying the K-5 staff who have not been trained already, so we're excited for that.
So you heard us talk a little bit when I mentioned about curriculum that K2, we've really been investing in our teachers and really building a consistent understanding of current research on how students learn to read, really the why behind how we read, so that way that can impact any instructional decision that we make moving forward. So I'll let Jen kind of give you a little bit more.
So I went through a very extensive training through Lexia, which is the company that Letters runs through. And so what we'll be doing is we've already had a major portion of our K2 staff go through the training. And then our goal is by the end of this year that we should have every K5 teacher go through this training. So it'll be occurring on a pretty weekly, regular basis. And what we're going to be targeting through this first volume of Letters are the word recognition skills. So really helping students and by educating our teachers as to how students learn how to read building our knowledge of phonics and phonemic awareness to really be able to leverage what our students are capable of. So it's really exciting, and we're looking forward to the impact that it's going to have on our population over the next few years.
The Twitter posts were great.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Mr. Daly, any comments? No?
Great team.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate the time and report. Have
Thank
a
you
good
very
year.
much. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, discussion items. You gonna speak to the policy committee?
Policy committee met, we had 2 policies, discussed them, and would be recommending that we waive the first read and adopt.
Anybody have any questions on the first read of policy 1510? No problems, no issues? What about 1530 minutes? Okay. 6560, employee status, independent contractor. Nope, everyone's okay with those? All right. You were given a draft of some board goals and things to look at and come back with suggestions and stuff for the next meeting. Is that our goals we're going to approve the next meeting, or it's up to the board?
It's up to the board.
Okay, depending on the feedback we get, all right? The board norms are there. We made some changes based upon some of the input from our workshop. If you have any issue, or want to add anything or amend anything, this is the time to do it. Let us know what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
Anything special, Carrie?
Yeah, I would like to open discussion of our board norms for communication within the board to kind of go on the no surprises rule of when there's an email that comes to board leadership involving students or concerns, that it be shared with the entire board. Unless it's something of a sensitive nature that's requested by the parent not to
Okay.
share. Obviously, that would be something that would be respected.
I think we can probably reword that for be responsible, check emails, add something about sharing any communications that go just to the board president or just to the superintendent. Very few people mail things totally to the whole board, don't know whether they can.
Yeah, I don't know if the community knows that,
Right.
that we don't see it. So.
So we can add something there under check emails, include sharing anything that goes to the president or the superintendent, if you like, all right? You can add that and come back. with it.
Anything that goes to you?
No, anything that's applicable.
No,
I don't want to narrow.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think that's.
We'll get it worded out.
Yeah, I think I think Chris does a nice job of telling us when he thinks we should be alerted to something of concern. But I think within the board, we need to work on the no surprises.
All right, we'll put some wording there for that and get it back out to everybody, okay?
Yeah.
Anybody else at this point? Again, we're not approving this. I want you to spend the next couple of weeks looking it over and come back with other suggestions if you have any. Anybody else at the immediate? Okay. There were copies at your spot someplace, right? And the goals especially, right? The goals were very similar to 21, 22, I think. Little tweaking. No, not really. Goal 3 is the one that's fairly new, and it's one I think we came out of our workshop with saying, yeah, we probably need to do something about that. Okay? Please, let me know anything else, and we'll check her out and pass it on to her. Excuse me. Okay. Motion to approve the consensus agenda. Mr. Long, little one? Yes? Any questions about anything, any item on the consent agenda? Okay. All in favor of approving the consent agenda? Okay, unanimous. Approval of consent items C through I. So long. Ms. Geis, any questions, comments? Motion to approve? Thank you. Action items. Approval of the property tax levy. Oops. Oh, I'm sorry. I even wrote it down. Retirement.
Michaela's turn.
Michaela's.
Good evening, Vice President Moscato, members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Daly. We have one retirement to recognize this evening. Miss Andrea Wheatley, who has been a food service worker for us, most recently at Brasser, but she has served in many different buildings for us over the course of 25 years, and she has decided to retire. Like every employee right now, we are asking her to get on the sub list. So we wish her the best in retirement, even if she decides not to sub for us. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Action item, approve of the 2022-2023 property tax levy. Motion? Ms. Coffey? We're having a brain freeze here, you know. And Ms. Guys. Any discussion? Question? It looks like the towns are both 100% rate this time, at least close enough. The tax rate is on the document. You have to look for it a little bit. Do you remember what we projected? Christie?
I think it was mid 24, so it was much lower.
Yeah.
Than
So we're low, you know.
the assessments came in higher, which helped lower the rate.
Right, our rate was 24.14. Anybody else, comments or questions? All in favor of approving the tax levy? Oh, jeez. This one here, motion to approve, oh, I'm sorry. The 22-23 property tax levy of $58,213,112. Favor, okay, unanimous, thank you. Action item to waive the second reading of policies 1510, 1530, and 6560. Milton? What did I say? Oh, Littlewood, yeah, I know, okay. And Ms. Coffey. Any issue, question? Motion to waive then? All in favor? Okay. Motion to approve policies 1510, 1530, and 6560. Mr. Long, Ms. Coffey. Any questions, comments, concerns? Okay. All in favor? Anybody against? Nope. That is unanimous. Thank you very much. Superintendent comments?
Sure. Well, we had our opening day today with faculty.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right.
Oh, yeah, they had
Yes,
a,
yes, yes,
that's
we did.
right.
We added 3 action items dealing with transportation appeals. First one, just to read it again, resolve with the Board of Education, having heard a transportation appeal from student A and following due deliberations, hereby deny the appeal. Motion to, I need a motion to move the motion. Need approval to, Ms. Kais, Ms. Coffey, any discussion? No, I read the motion, somebody needs to first.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
Don't get a
all.
motion.
I just read the motion again, it's not on the paper. No discussion, all in favor of the motion, which was to deny the appeal? Okay. Resolved with the Board of Education, having heard transportation appeal from student B and following due deliberations, hereby deny the appeal. Ms. Kais, Ms. Coffey, any other comments? No? Okay. All those in favor of denial? Okay, thank you. Resolved that the Board of Education, having heard a transportation appeal for student C and following due deliberations, hereby deny the appeal. Johnson, Littlewood, you raised your hand, okay. Anybody have any questions? Not, all in favor of the motion to deny? Okay, thank you very much. Now Mr. Daly gets his 15 minutes.
That's all? All right.
Yeah.
Today was opening day with our faculty and staff. Thank you to Ms. Hinch-Janssen for attending. It was an amazing morning. Having our entire faculty, staff, and administration together to kick off our 22-23 school year was impactful. The marching band and having our students sing the national anthem and messages from our students helped get everybody fired up to make 22-23 the best school year yet. We were able to recognize the many years of service of our employees have achieved. What was the number of years up there? Yeah, of collective service, which was just crazy to think about. And to get everybody who wasn't able to attend this morning a little something that got our staff all fired up, here's a look at the messages our students shared with our staff for their first day back.
Welcome back, teachers and staff. I'm really excited to see my teacher, my bus driver, and the lunch ladies. I'm excited about art and gym and a bunch of other stuff.
As a senior, I'm really excited to hang out with my teachers and go to all the events and be able to be in one big group together for one more year.
I'm probably most excited for just making new friends and setting new goals for myself and trying my best and trying my hardest. Riding the school bus, and I can't wait to see my bus driver.
I'm most excited for this school year is getting to see my teachers and, of course, bettering myself athletically and academically, and getting to see all the new students coming in from the middle school and just having a great time with my fellow students and my teachers.
One of the things that I'm excited for this school year are clubs and theater, because I really enjoy them. I have a few project ideas that I'd like to work on with some clubs.
I like the clubs in the school, and like gardening club, like band, and other clubs that I could join. It's like you can join multiple clubs. That's why I really like school, and it's fun. Really fun.
I'm most looking forward to in the middle school is a new experience, get good grades, just a lot of new stuff. So I'm looking to get comfortable with that.
I'm looking forward to seeing Mr. Morello and my cousin Joey. I'm most excited for here at Paul Road is playing with my friends and being with you.
Geshala is a family where we all know and love each other, and we all try and better ourselves.
My school is awesome because of how many things it helps you learn and how it helps you be kind and how many kind people there are.
Something cool, unique, and awesome about our district is that a lot of our staff are really helpful. They are really nice. If I'm having trouble with homework or something, they offer resources, or I can always have someone to talk to if there's any problems.
Geshala has a lot of amazing students who work very hard, and a lot of amazing teachers who really want to work hard and push and help us with our futures. Everybody plays a really important role at the school, and no matter what position that you're in, honestly, the kids are always willing to make a friendship, make a connection, and like acknowledge you as a person here.
My school is the best and I love it. Don't be scared if you're scared on your first day, because all of the kids are here to help you. If you guys are nervous, don't worry. It's not going to be that hard. It's actually going to be very fun. I'm sure all your students, and if I'm your student, I would say I'm pretty nice. It might be hard at some times, but you just got to keep working through it. And maybe have a little talk with your students and say, this is what we gotta do. If you guys get your work done, we can have fun.
So just so you know that like everyone in here is really nice, so you don't need to be afraid if you are.
If I'm nervous, I write in my notebook. If you're nervous, you can write in your notebook.
I feel like if you come in with an open mind, everybody will be really accepting and you'll have a great first day.
If you're nervous, you can ask for help.
Be mindful of what you say, because sometimes you don't know what students are going through. Use proper pronouns because it validates the student and anyone who you're talking to.
I know it can be challenging sometimes, but I just ask that you bear with us and have enough patience to work with us.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna have a great school year. Thank you, teachers and staff. You guys are so amazing.
Thank you to all teachers and staff for everything that you've done for the students here at Gates Chi-Li.
Have a great first day of school.
Can't wait to meet you.
Thank you so much for dealing with a lot of the things that you deal with.
Thank you for all that you've done for us, and thank you for trying to make us better for ourselves and so that we're not lost when we leave this school.
Have a great first day of school. Have a great first day of work. Thank you for whatever you do for me and the students. Have a great first day. I can't wait to meet you.
Okay. It was a great job, Mrs. Petrosino, interviewing those students and then sharing it out with everybody. We have a COVID-19 update for everybody. Governor Hochul and State Health Commissioner Bassett held a briefing on state plans for dealing with COVID-19 and monkeypox viruses. Governor said the State Health and Education Department would write a letter to school officials outlining for the management of COVID-19 for the coming year, and here are some of the highlights. Students and staff exposed to COVID will not have to quarantine any longer. People who were exposed should follow the CDC recommendations to wear a well-fitting mask for 10 days after the exposure and get tested. Test to stay, as we did last year, will end. Students will no longer be required to receive a COVID test if exposed to an infected person. Also, students and staff who test positive for COVID-19 are required to isolate for 5 days at home. Those with symptoms may resume attending school after 5 days if they're fever-free, without fever-reducing medicine for 24 hours, and their symptoms are improving. When they do return through day 10, they are required to wear a mask, a well-fitting mask. Universal masking is not required at this time, though the local health departments have the authority to implement masking requirements if it gets bad again. Schools will no longer be required to offer or conduct screening testing. We're not required to test unvaccinated staff any longer. We're not required to report daily tests to the DOH, which is great because that was taking up a lot of personnel time. And schools will not be required to conduct contact tracing any longer. However, the new state guidance was really silent on issues regarding employee leave time, so we're waiting to get some more information on that. There were no monkeypox related requirements planned for school operations at this time, and Bassett said that she did not see our schools as a setting where monkeypox transmission would be a risk, so stay tuned for that one. District calendar. Ask our families to check your mailboxes. District calendar is likely waiting for you. The printed district handbook and calendar is filled with important information about the district, as well as many great events and reminders. Make sure to check the online calendar on our website for the most up-to-date dates, times, and locations for events. Tonight, we got to honor 2 of our 3 summer grads. And again, it's congratulations to them and their families. It was a collective effort. And thank you to our dedicated staff and administration that worked with them every day to get them to this point this summer. There's a lot of effort behind the scenes to help those individuals hit this milestone. We were excited to announce about our Little Seeds grant. Gates Chi-Li Middle School has been selected as a recipient of the 2022 Little Seeds Pollinator Pals grant. Say that 3 times. Our outdoor classroom pollinator garden was selected because of the outstanding work our teachers, Dorothy Bernice and Lisa Dorothy, are doing to enhance the lives of students in our community. The new pollinator garden is part of an outdoor classroom that is designed by students at Gates Chi-Li Middle School to create a habitat for butterflies and other pollinators. The mission of the outdoor classroom is to provide a natural, inclusive space for students to be educated in all content areas, practice social emotional learning, and have opportunities to manage and explore the space. We've been awarded a $500 check to support the development of this space. Each of you have at your place the Vanguard publication. Congratulations to Assistant Superintendent for Instruction Troy Olin and Director of Communications Eva Petrosino for being published in the summer issue of Vanguard, a publication by the School Administrators Association of New York State, or SANES. Their piece on equity titled "There's Room for Everyone on the Road to Equity" was featured. You have a copy at your place. Last week, as referred to earlier, we had our new staff orientation, and it was a huge success. The mezzanine was packed with new Spartans. It was almost temperate. It is the most diverse group I have seen yet. I will report out in September on them as we are still hiring at the beginning of the year and give you the facts about our class of 2022-23. But it was great. In my 4 years here, it was the most diverse group I've seen. Very engaged, very excited to be here and become part of our Spartan family. And a lot of commendation needs to go to Ms. Parado and Dr. Vasquez and their hiring teams over the summer. They've been beating the bushes everywhere trying to find people. And today, Mrs. Hinch-Johnson heard, we'll take your friends, we'll take your neighbors, we'll take your doctor's secretary, we'll take your enemies, get them to apply. We still have openings. They're bringing people in, constantly interviewing and getting them ready to become Spartans. And we are in a much better position going into this fall than we were a year ago, and it's a credit to the dedication of Ms. Parado and her team. School nutrition. Our outstanding school nutrition team served 33,000 free meals to students in our community as part of our ongoing partnership with the USDA this summer. They are fun. They were here today doing their first day training in here, and the laughter and the camaraderie they have is second to none. Every time you see a picture as Eva and her team go around and capture people at her meals, they're happy to be there. They're happy to serve our kids, and they do amazing things with the ingredients we get to make it taste real good. Their dedication to our community is second to none, and we can't thank them enough. And last, I want to thank all our faculty, staff, and administration for the tremendous efforts made this summer to get ready to bring back our Spartans next Tuesday. It's hard to believe summer's over, and that in a week all our Spartans will be back. We've had a preview with our staff back today and our athletes coming back on campus and our orientations for new to us students to the district. But we hit the ground running next Tuesday, and we're ready to make this the best year yet together. That is my report, sir.
Thank you. Excuse me. Any need for executive session?
There is not, sir.
Motion to adjourn, disguise, Shalon. Any objection? All in favor? Thank you. We are adjourned. Thank you.